seeking unfiltered truth. Weekdays on Salem News Channel.
Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. John McLaughlin is pollster for Americans for Lower Health Care Costs. You can go to StopHealthCostHikes.com to learn more about that. John, welcome. When last we talked, the government was shut down over the issue of credits for insurance. Now, there is a middle ground here, and I think the president is looking for it. What is that middle ground?
I think you have it right, because the middle ground is, and by the way, we just did the survey for Americans for a Balanced Budget, and we did it November 10th through the 11th. So, and we did 800 likely voters across 16 battleground congressional districts. And the big concern is affordability, where you have, and it's become a big Democrat word, but the Republicans, we're the ones who don't want to raise taxes. We're the ones who want to protect working people with healthcare tax credits. The president, and you're seeing these reports out of Washington where he's saying, we'll extend the healthcare tax credits, but what we want to do is we want to have some sort of means testing where you don't give it to people who really can afford to pay for their own healthcare. But this is meant for people that, say, maybe working 2 or 3 jobs and their employers don't provide them health insurance. And so we'll do it. We'll have it sealed.
I like to point out to people, we did not get to keep the doctor that we had as we were promised. We did not get to keep our health insurance. And some people really got screwed. Now, some of the people who got screwed have a lot of money and we don't have to worry about them. But some of the people who got screwed don't have a lot of money and they got really screwed. I think that's the demo the president is looking for. Am I right?
Exactly. You're exactly right. Plus, the president would also rather do it where he gives the people the money, where the average person would be able to have control of the funds so that they could buy their own health insurance, that you wouldn't have to worry about, like the health insurance premiums keep going up for these healthcare companies, and it's higher than the rate of insurance. So if the consumer, if the voter actually had control over their own healthcare and their choices to be able to buy it, there would be some more accountability here. So, but the bad part is the Democrats, they're like ruling it out of hand. I mean, they shut the government down, to throw sand in the engine on the GDP, et cetera. But with healthcare, a lot of these Democrats, they'd like to see the whole thing collapse and have government run healthcare. They would like the government to, your point about, keep your doctor, et cetera. They want the government to be your doctor. And God help us then, because then you'd see what you see in Canada, where they have long waiting lines. You don't have the same health quality of health care. Canadians come to America for health care when they get really sick, because they don't get taken care of.
Americans for a Balanced Budget send you out to find out what works and what people want. When those battleground congressional districts, what does the majority of the voters, both Republican, Democrat, and Independent, want when it comes to health insurance?
Well, 9 out of 10 of them are concerned about their health care costs. And you've got, when you ask about affordability, the biggest concern is the health care, 39. Groceries and food is second at 38, but it's about the same level margin of error. And 73% are concerned about their health care premiums rising next year. These are among all voters. And they support the health care tax credits for these working voters, 70% to 20%. So you've got, like you said, for people that need it, that are working, they support the healthcare tax credits. And they're very concerned about affordability. They're very concerned about the healthcare costs. But, it's like the Democrats have to come and meet the president with, if they're really sincere and they want to protect working class voters so that they can afford to buy their own health insurance, they got to meet President Trump, towards the middle, where, okay, we'll extend them, but you want to give the voter or the consumer more control over buying their own health care, and at the same time, you want to have some sort of means testing that people that are really could afford to buy their own health care, that you're not subsidizing that.
Yeah, we cannot allow 100% subsidy continue. It's way too expensive. It will bankrupt the country. And there will be no incentive for health insurance companies to make any kind of decisions that are based in sound actuarial science. John McLaughlin, always good to see you. Always good to be updated on the data. Stay out there in the field because this is going to be the biggest debate by January 30th. Everyone's going to want to know what is the appropriate solution to the fact that premiums are skyrocketing for the middle class. We do not want that. That's because Obamacare has collapsed. Head over to StopHealthCostHikes.com to find out how you can weigh in along with Americans for a balanced budget. That's at StopHealthCostHikes.com. StopHealthCostHikes.com. I'm coming right back with Drucker. Don't go anywhere, America. I'll ask him the same thing right here on The Hugh Hewitt Show.
The Hugh Hewitt Show is now available on TV. Go to SalemNewsChannel.com or download the app. You can also watch on Roku and